Hi artists, it's Miss Coon, and today we're going to create a drawing that has hatching and cross-hatching techniques in it. Our I can statement today is I can integrate art vocabulary while planning and creating art. So let's talk about those two new art terms. Hatching is created when non-crossing lines are used to indicate the value on or around an object. They are usually parallel to each other. So if you look at the ball, the white section is where the light is hitting the object, and as the hatching happens around the corner, it adds value and depth to the ball. Cross-hatching is created when the lines cross over each other to illustrate value. In this image, you can compare hatching, which are the parallel lines in the top, and cross-hatching, which are the crossing lines in the bottom. Artists have been using this technique for centuries. This is a self-portrait by Rembrandt that has examples of hatching and cross-hatching. When we create our art today, you'll need a piece of paper and a tool to draw with. You can use a pencil or a Sharpie. I'm going to start with a pencil and then go over my lines with Sharpie, and then it's your choice at the end if you'd like to add color to your drawing. Let's get started. Okay, so when you're drawing your picture today, you can draw anything that you would like. If you want to draw with me, I'm going to draw a rocket ship. So I'm going to start near the top of my paper and draw a dot. And then I'm going to come down near the opposite corner and I'm going to draw a dot near the bottom center and one kind of over to the side. And then I'm going to connect these dots and then connect at the bottom. I'm changing my shape now. It's a little uneven at the bottom, and that's okay. I have a few little tweaks, and your rocket can look totally different than mine. Okay, so because it's rounded, my stripes that are on my rocket are going to be a little bit curved. I'm going to have rocket boosters on the side. Flame shooting out the back. I'm going to add windows. And let's see. Maybe so that I know that it's in space, I'm going to add moon and stars. And you could do planets, and you can draw your stars different. Your rocket can look totally different, or if you want to draw something other than a rocket, that's fine too. Once you finish your drawing, we're going to outline it with Sharpie before we add our hatching and cross-hatching lines. So now I'm going to switch to our dry erase board to show you a few examples of crossing and cross-hatching. So if I have something that's kind of a cylinder shape and curved, like my rocket, I'm going to do two examples. If I use hatching, which are just the parallel lines, then those lines are just close together, and I could do it on one side if I wanted to, and that looks like the light is coming from the left and the shadow is on the right. Or if I want it coming from the front, I can do those on both sides, and it looks like the light is coming from the center. Cross-hatching are when those same lines cross. So you would go down one side, and then they would kind of cross over each other. You could do both, or if you just want to do one or the other, that's fine too. And that creates value and adds a little dimension to your art. You could also add shadows in the background since this is something that might be sitting on a surface. I'm going to put this to the side and start on my cross-hatching and hatching on my picture. I could do it with pencil first if I wanted to, or I could go ahead and draw a Sharpie. I'm going to go ahead and do mine with Sharpie, and I'm going to have the sunlight, I know the moon is out, but the sun is going to be coming from the front, and so I'm going to have a little bit of shading on the left and the right. So it's important when you're doing this that you keep the lines close together and there aren't giant gaps. have hatching. Those are my parallel lines. And I'm going to keep adding some to my object, so it would be this side here, side here. And I'll speed it up so you don't have to watch me work so slowly. Okay, now I have a pretty simple drawing that has examples of hatching and cross-hatching. I did cross-hatching in the small spaces under here and a few here, and then hatching around the edges. And that kind of gives the illusion that the light is coming from the front and it's casting a shadow as the rocket curves away. Again, you don't have to draw a rocket, you can draw something else, but I can't wait to see what you create. If you would like to add color to your picture, you can. I'm going to add a little bit of color to mine using watercolor paints and crayons. Okay, I added crayon and watercolor to give some color to my picture. You don't have to do that. You can still see my hatching and my cross hatching, which are adding some value. It kind of looks like it's shaded and curved around. I did add some more value with my crayon, so I pressed down a little bit harder with my red to create a dark, medium, and light, which adds a little bit more to my picture. I mixed a little bit of blues, blacks, and purples with my watercolor for my sky. I can't wait to see what you create. You can share photos of what you create in the comments below this video, or you can email pictures of your art to Miss Kuhn at amkuhn@auburnschools.org. Bye!